At G1 versus Complexity, this is going to be the one to watch out, folks, because of the implications that this game has in particular. This best of 5 might be the most important best of 5 of the entire bracket, because Clutch, there's one team that is depending on the results of this game going a certain way, and it's a team that not only has had good placings in Halo Infinite's history, but has won 2 tournaments in Halo Infinite. That's right, the Space Station Gaming roster is very much keeping an eye on this match in particular, because depending on how this match goes, they could be knocked out in pools. That's right, not even getting third, they could be knocked out, Clutch. What is going on over at Space Station Gaming?
That's the question to ask, right? We know how talented that roster is. They are a threat every single tournament, but this one, they might not make it past Saturday. So I don't even think it's in their control anymore. Gamers First, Complexity, they've both looked very strong so far. And with recent roster changes coming into this tournament for both these two teams, it's exciting to see both of them start on the right foot. They have that new team fire. Suppress is playing pretty well for Gamers First. You see Monster back on Complexity, the pickup of I can't even think right now. The pickup of
Monster and Collect, right?
Collect. Yeah. I don't know how I forget Collect, but the second you do, he's going to remind you, right? Complexity looking so strong. And what a pickup Collect is going to be for this Complexity roster for the long run, already providing some short-term gains as well.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like he's the breath of fresh air, the young gun that's come into the scene and has made all of the difference. But then on the other side, right, we see a lot of freshness to that Complexity. On the other side for G1, it's more familiar faces with each other, right? Everyone calls this team the friendship team. Suppress getting added to that roster. We all know that Boo Boo, Doo and the triplets have that special connection. So the friendship team somehow gets even more friendshipy. And, you know, I always want to see the opinion of a former pro player, how you feel about these rosters that are built around friendship.
Yeah, as this series gets underway, I think it's big to talk about both of those pickups and how they influence the rest of the vibes of the team, right? I think we could start with Suppressed for sure. The fact that they have so much experience playing with Suppressed and matchmaking and just building up that friendship, like you said, there's a level of trust, there's a level of like solidarity that's built there. When I was on Believe the Hype, we had that. We had played together so much before we actually started teaming with each other that it just came natural, and you start trusting your teammates, you start believing in them. Criticism is easier taken from that style of teammates, and with that you build such a solid foundation that allows you to play at your biggest potential. There's not a lot of like stress as far as not knowing your teammates have your back at all times. I love the fact that they were able to pick up Suppress. And on the side of Collect, a young gun in his stature, it was kind of an odd position for him to be on Sentinels, right? Like coming into that team, yes, he's an incredible talent, but was it the right fit? I'd much rather see Collect with a team like Complexity that has something to prove. Everybody's hungry, everybody's young. It gives them an opportunity to all be on the same page in that stint and experience this
double kill,
this part of their careers together. So I love the fact for both these two individuals finding themselves on new teams, as a triple kill happens on screen from one of them, that they have this opportunity to go off.
Yeah, Suppress is going to be this X Factor player that we have to keep our eyes on, right? His ability to take over this game is second to none, it feels like, at moments, and his ability to slay is being on display for G1 early in this game. 5 kills in just 4 deaths. With Rockets coming up, we're seeing both these teams get in position, and Boo Boo Doo is going to be leading that charge with the shotgun, but he is gonna go down. Monster finding a vital kill, and now look at these Rockets heading over to the side of Complexity.
Suppress finding a nice trade as well, though, in the meantime, able to get another player to no shield. It's traded out. So although it did look like Rockets are going into Complexity's hands, they don't really have the map control to play around. Already down about 30 points on the side of Gamers First, or on the side of Complexity too. You need to find a way to climb, and this is a good pick, right? You had this set up in Tram, you kind of left your ball guy behind, but that first kill is everything to keep numbers and start building up to tie this game.
And Cycle's gonna start pushing out these spawns, moving towards the back, that front player for his team, and you start to see G1 clambering together, right? 3 players pushing in at once. The fight's gonna go down towards the cafe, and now Boo Boo Doo awaiting with that assault rifle, not gonna be able to get any of the damage as the nades come through, and now Collect has to have that number in his head. How long do I have until G1 arrives? And Suppress is going to be that first player that knocks in on the back door. Tusk unsuspecting, but look at that shroud screen, giving him time to get away.
And they were down about 30 points before that setup was taken. Gamers First finally break the setup, but the lead, it's actually in the hands of Complexity. I really like how Complexity played that. I like the fact that they overextended on one half of the map, right? They saw shotgun as their opportunity, so they had multiple players take up that space, and that forced G1's hand as far as the limited areas that they can push. And Complexity was able to not only tie this game, but take the lead.
This red gun making all the difference. Look at that damage output it's providing too. Gonna go down for Complexity, and G1 trying to find this rotate, but the flank from Collect makes it all mixy. The ball's down, and now it's up for grabs for both sides. Complexity able to recover this ball, but Falcated always the player to worry about. The shotgun able to keep him alive for now, but here comes the push from Complexity on the other side. Collect and Tusk working together, but Tusk just not there in time. Kills are starting to stabilize on the map, and G1 have gotten control of this ball once again.
Yeah, such an important round of slays there. Monster oversteps just one challenge. He gets punished immediately. That 2 kills that we saw back tower paired with it got themselves some rockets, got themselves the lead back by 20.
And look at this Complexity, 3 players on top of each other trying to make their way through. 2 players go down. Suppress just has to leave, puts his head down, and stays alive, giving up this ball for now and looking for another opportunity. And G1 with the counterweight push through to driveway. Suppress working in tandem with his other 2 players. He's gonna run across the middle of the map, but through open ground, the shots come through. Suppress struggling to stay alive, and now his flankers seem to be left on an island, nowhere to go, as Cycle looks to help Collect.
Yeah, you could tell he felt too pressed to make a play right there from Suppressed. And because of it, he overextends bottom middle without doing any damage. He gets traded out immediately. And that's allowed Complexity to rack up some time, rotate the ball into trim, get some slays that they needed to stay in this game.
And Sab able to win a massive kill against Monster. That's gonna allow them to keep pushing forward as G1 needs to get this ball out of their hands, but it's a miss. Back Tusk gets the kill. Oh no, bad goes to worse. The red gun player's down, and Sab has to come back for this ball, but Monster's there, and that kill might have just cost them.
Back and forth, these kills traded, no real control right now. These kills are going to be so pivotal to this round 1. Falcated, who does it better than Falcated in a one-on-one that's going to pivotally decide the game? Not many. He wins his, allows Boo Boo Doo Boo to still rack up this ball time. Rockets are up, but not a lot of time to play around on the side of Complexity. They need a successful push with these rockets, and it looks like Psycho has kicked it off.
Yeah, Cycle able to get those rockets still, use both of them right away, and G1 are starting to feel the respawn screen once again. Monster gets this ball, and now the question is, how much time do you have for G1 crossing that 70-point threshold? Is Complexity. G1 spawning all the way across the map, and Cycle, your young gun with the red gun, and he doesn't even need it. Uses the spike grenades, his BR activates them, and G1 continuing to see the respawn screen. Time is coming short. Monster goes down, but Cycle still at the power position, and look how far away G1 are spawning.
Yeah, Tusk is going to need to have the awareness right now to rotate this ball away from downhill. They're coming this way. It was an arcade spawn, but I love this positioning by Cycle. He's going to anchor in the back. Can he get one of these kills, or at least delay long enough for Tusk to get the ball out of there is the big question. 96 points and counting. Colette may just be able to end this game here and now.
Wow, just 1 second left for it to go. Complexity is starting to see the respawn screen, and Boo Boo Doo Boo is trying to save this round, but Cycle, the young gun, is there. He beats him down, picks it up, and G1 fall in the first round. Just nothing to be done.
Boo Boo Doo Boo with 5 kills on the first round too. You need to pick it up slaying wise. I know he contributes a lot to his gameplay, so the stats really aren't going to tell the entire story, but 5 kills isn't going to cut it for anybody.
These rockets going to be so important off the play, and you're seeing Falcon holding down this lane. BR in hand, but it's just not enough to keep Monster away from these rockets. Firing one off right away and really only getting one kill off those rockets. But you're going to see, even though he's last alive, look at this ball. He still has control. He still has the ability to play for it. And look how he does play for it. Comes back and gets the kill.
I mean, that's a beautiful play from Monster. Last guy alive, your only job, try and see if you can deny ball time going to the other team, control going to the other team. He's able to not only get one kill, but move the ball into a difficult spot, spawn his teammates back tower, and second off, get a second kill and delay some of the pressure Gamers First were able to play. So even though Gamers First won the break initially, they couldn't do anything to help result in the score. And now look at this, Complexity able to build an early lead.
Yeah, Complexity with a stranglehold on the map. G1 are gonna have to fight through them all. And Monster goes big once again. Shroud Screen to help him stay alive, but the nade gonna be too much. But G1 has a tough task ahead of him. Look at how much ground they have to make up, and the traps that lay ahead of them. Collect able to get that first kill, but did we just see a spawn? No, Monster has that spawn on the other side, and G1 struggling to get forward on the map, and the score just continues to go in favor of Complexity. Collect waiting to come help, but Boo Boo Doo somehow gets two.
It's going to be 4 down for Complexity. This is Gamers' first opportunity here in round 2. They need to take advantage of it right now. They're going to have an opportunity at what looks like a PD setup with the ball, a full opportunity to push out on the map. Complexity spawning in back trim, a lot of space being taken. They need to find the first kill.
Look at Collect finding the weak part, gets behind. The dagger comes in from the back, but quickly traded up, and you can see Complexity trying to play forward off that first pick, and they're ready to rumble. Monster gets the first. Sab's in trouble at the back of PD. Monster beats him down for the double kill, and Complexity surgical in the way that they broke that setup.
It's a perfect break, right? You can't let that happen if you're Gamers First. You have every option at your disposal as far as how you want to hold this setup, how you want to be successful with it. It's a massive blunder on the side of Gamers First, and just like that, Complexity pushed this lead back over 50.
And G1 quick on that response, so able to get right into this spawn, getting kill after kill. Tusk making it tough as he gets 2. And we're seeing trade for trade come out, but G1 winning the ball time at the moment, and it's going to come down to these next spawns. Who's going to be there first? And Monster, it feels like he's always in the play, looking to lead the charge for his team. He has no help. And, well, Boo Boo Doo Boo is going to be able to take advantage of that ball. Sitting in the back for G1 still, as Complexity has finally gotten the numbers to make their push back towards PD. And now, finally, able to get towards this ball. But look at Sap trying to throw that thing over to Suppress. Are the spawns for G1 going to be there?
Looks like 3 of them are going to be back tower, so a couple of spawners going to be benefited with that advancement right there for Gamers First. But Complexity play it slow. I actually love that. They actually expect those spawners to be there. And with it, Tusk with a big one gets a little bit of damage into a third. And Gamers First, even with the advanced spawns, they go down. Complexity once again in control and under pressure right now of being cycled off spawn with a couple of kills timed out right now. That's a tough way to try and come back in this round. You don't have a lot of time to do it either. You're gonna have one successful push coming off respawn right now, and you still have 3 down.
Well, Rocket's coming up. Boo Boo Doo Boo's gonna use the mechanic known from Halo CE, using that grenade to blow up the weapon. Now has it in hand and has an opportunity to stop the time for Complexity. The Rockets ring true. Great damage, great hold for G1.
Good damage right there. Perfect use of the rockets. You're able to break the setup near immediately, but now down 50 points. What can G1 do to hold a perfect setup? And that's not a good start. Suppress, sliding bottom middle. Giving up your life for just a little bit of damage onto a player up front is going to leave your players a man down here. And let's see if Complexity can once again have a successful break.
And here we go. 2 players from Complexity trying to get through. Tusk and Monster teaming up for this break. And you're starting to see the rest of Complexity working in synchronization. Look at how all 4 of those players moved as a unit, Clutch.
It's another beautiful break from Complexity, right? But that starts with the death from Suppressed. As soon as you have that man advantage, one of their players is holding on to an oddball. So you know where he is. He doesn't have his gun up. it's a very easy break for Complexity. They're going to win game 1 in dominant fashion in round 2, and Complexity are going to take the early lead here in this series.
Absolutely fantastic round 2 in particular from this Complexity roster. What did you see from Complexity that differed from game 1 to round 1 to round 2? Why were they so dominant in that second round of Oddball?
I think they're just so good at pressing their advantages. Like, they're not afraid or intimidated in any form against a team that they probably should be intimidated by, right? The players on Gamers First have a lot higher of accolades throughout the history of their careers. But I love this group of Complexity players. They're almost like blind to the fact that what's been done before them. Like, they are very confident individuals. They play with that confidence. And when they have opportunities, when they see openings, they take them. And that's one thing that the new player in Collect, he does his best at the second we started watching Collect when Halo Infinite came out, he was one of those players that recklessly pushes into places and hits his shots, right? He's almost so confident that it got him into trouble at the start. I think he's learned to hone those skills. I think Sentinels probably taught him a couple of things that he's able to bring to this Complexity roster, but overall, you gotta love the aggressiveness, because usually in Halo, the aggressive player wins.
And so far, I think everyone's been really impressed with Complexity throughout today. I mean, we saw, I think it was 8 of the top 16 teams, if not 10, 8 to 10 of the top 16 teams seeing shakeups after just one team change. That all started with these 2 rosters, right? Suppress moving over to G1. That opened up roster opportunities all through, and we've seen the ramifications throughout. And honestly, what do you think about both these team rosters? Do you think this is one of those rare win-win situations between G1 and Complexity where both rosters get better?
Well, I'll be honest, I wasn't really happy with a lot of the rosters that were going on and all the changes that had happened probably since Worlds. I would say, like, there's very few teams that have benefited from the changes that they had made. And now teams are starting to figure out ways to improve on the decisions that were made previously. I love the idea that nobody was stubborn about, hey, this isn't working. Let's try and continue to force it. Let's stick together. Like, sometimes a change is needed. Sometimes, like, 3-4 months goes by and you kind of understand, like, we're not improving. A lot of teams did a good job, I think, over the past couple months of realizing that, making a lot of successful changes. And I do think that both of these teams got better.
Onto the Slayer, fallocated with the shock rifle. This weapon going to be determining so much throughout these games, and who's going to walk into the reticle of this gun and who can keep it in control for longer can determine so much. And right now, the new blood of Complexity, Collect, able to get that shock rifle out of the hands of G1 and pulling it away for his own team.
Someone that maybe statistically didn't have a great game 1, Boobadooboo, now needs to pick it up, right? He's got to be a dominant force for this Gamers First. If they want to reach their potential, their ceiling, potentially winning tournaments, Boobadooboo's got to be his dominant self, which we've seen him have in Halo Infinite and Halo 5, but maybe not with this exact G1 roster yet.
Right now, G1, look how expanded they are on this map, ready to take on Complexity. Where does this break come through? Boobadooboo crossing with that commando, gets a player to one shot, but that opens up everything for him. He's gonna start pushing through, taking advantage of the weaknesses in the lanes, able to find that first pick, but the Tusk answers back with a huge shock rifle shot, and he's not satisfied with that. The word is out, Sap is weak, and the rest of Complexity, they're on their way. They're taking them all down. G1 struggling to get off this map.
And that opens up with Tusk's 2 big kills, right? Someone that probably doesn't get a lot of credit, gets a lot of disrespect right now in his career on scene. Tusk can make plays. One of the players that, back when we were playing Halo 3 through the throwback days, that really impressed me every time I got an opportunity to team with him. His communication is always on point. He's got a lot of individual skill. Hasn't showcased it in the biggest moments yet, but you love to see him create openings that turn 2 kills into 4. And those 2 kills he's awarded with, the team's awarded with 4. They're able to create separation in the score lead. And that's the 1 kill difference right now.
Now G1, this feels like a dangerous moment. You see Complexity starting to play forward. They might have lost their camouflage, but they haven't lost their will to find the rest of these players, hunting them down. Tusk tries his best to stay alive, traded out in the moment, and it's gonna be trade for trade. Each side, G1 able to stabilize just a little bit after this push. And now we're starting to see that 50-50 mid-game clutch. How do you find your break? Who's going to be the player that pushes forward? How do you find your way to find a successful collapse?
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to the power on the map, right? Who can get the shock rifle? It looks like it's in the hands of Complexity right now. I believe Collect has it, but immediately as I say that 3 go down, Sab takes down Collect, and that's where the power and the lead will shift. 21-18 now. Gamers First take the lead for the first time in the game, have the shock rifle in hand, and map control to play around. Let's see what they do with it this time around.
I was trying to burn off anyone that comes through. He's able to find the first, but the rest of Complexity is there just looking too strong. Suppress will be the last player alive at the gold hall, and he will reap the benefits. Able to get the shock rifle and an extra couple grapples to work with. But look at Cycle hitting in the back. Suppress, he's right into the face of the rest of Complexity. I don't think he was expecting that clutch.
No, definitely not. He just trusted his team, thought that the spawns had come through across the map, and unfortunately when you're not careful enough in those moments, when you act too quick, you get punished. Suppress gets taken down, and that was a big power moment, right? Shock rifle grapple in hand, camo's coming up. Can your team still secure camo throughout that blunder is the big question. It's still on the ground, and it is going to go into the hands of Complexity, and I would say that that is all off of Suppress overextending with that shock rifle going down before it's coming up.
And now Tusk, he's in a prime area, able to play forward with this camouflage. Already finds his first pick, but Boo Boo Dubu's nade keeps him away for now. But the rest of Complexity trying to collapse on Sab. And look at Tusk waiting for his shields to come back, gets the kill, and he's not done quite yet. Looking to find some more. Suppress from the flank, though, might just be enough to stop this push from Complexity.
Yeah, big kill taking down Tusk there right before his camo fully goes back. Suppress being aggressive enough, able to spot him, take him down, and now they're trapped at elevator. The respawners are not in a good position for Complexity, and that's an easy 2 for Sab.
Oh, he's looking for the third. He's not going to quite be able to get it, but Collect able to find 2 while down shields and almost made it a third. Boo Boo Dubu just got away with his life in this situation, and now Boo Boo Dubu has a choice. Do I push forward? You start to see Complexity starting to get into this map. G1 gonna start to play together. But as Boo Boo Dubu pushes forward, there's a player coming in from behind. Complexity are gonna swap positions on this map, and Boo Boo Dubu's been trying to find the action, but all this time he's been trying to find it. Look at Complexity leading now in the scoreboard. I mean, able to lead a 3-kill push and make it Tusk, making it a 4th. So Boo Boo Dubu just not quite able to find his way into that fight.
I want to step back and look at the stats real quick. It's 9-10 deaths across the board for Complexity, and then it's a little bit different on the side of G1. What that tells me is Complexity is playing as a unit every single moment of the game. If one of them dies, they're probably all dying at that point, right? If G1, a little bit more solo-based plays coming out of them, and because of it, I mean, they have a 1-kill lead, but in my experience, Complexity's style typically comes away with the win more often, but when you make plays like that and get sticks like that at the end of your death, it really gives you an opportunity to run away with it.
Yeah, Foul just making lemonade out of lemons right there. He was repulsed, remember? And not only did he get that kill, he got the kill on camouflage. And I said, hey, I'll take another one, put the sticky down, and got the kill. And that 3-kill swing might make all the difference. Look at the scoreline, 45-42. The individual heroics of Falcated trying to push them through, but Complexity are just so hard to take down in this game. It feels like they have always stayed true, always finding a way to make this one close, and Monster has been a massive reason because of that. 13-11 from him, and G1 trapped all the way towards long haul. Complexity deciding what they want to do with this information, trying to feel out their push, and it looks like Monster might be that key player to make his way around this corner, just waiting for the word. As you see the cross between them, Boo Boo Dubu taking down some of this initial damage. Complexity want to make the move. They just haven't been able to. Both these teams just really in a stagnant pose right now, Clutch.
We've seen some crazy things here on Recharge Slayer today, so don't think this game is over. It's a 2-kill game, yes. But the second one player goes down, all 4 can go down. We saw it in the Sentinels versus Avengers series earlier. And Shock Rifle in the hands of Cycle is going to give an opportunity for Complexity to stay in this game. Camo's coming up in 10, and that's going to force the hands of every team.
Oh, look at Cycle. He's ready to take down the action. Boo Boo Doo Boo. It was a trap. Falcon was waiting in the corner. Cycle goes down. Collect's able to find the trade, but G1 able to get 3 kills off the bait from Boo Boo Doo Boo. And it ends up with a game 2 victory for G1. The response, so important, as every game has so many implications onto this tournament. Depending on how this one goes through, we could see an early exit, a Saturday exit for SSG and G1. And I think if they win, they're out. If G1 wins this game, this match, then SSG's done, and G1 suddenly, I think, take the first seed, Clutch.
Yeah, it's not often you're able to say the Space Station boys are fans of Monster and Complexity, but I think they are in this series. Livefire King of the Hill is going to be the game up next, and as we've looked as this series developed, Tools, it's been highly contested, and I love what we saw out of G1 in the second game when they had control of the map. A majority of the time, they were able to implement their will. They were able to trade successfully, which is something they weren't really doing in the Oddball game in game 1. So they were able to turn that story around. A couple of blunders on this game too that I want to call out are just overextensions like that without clearing your corners, right? You want to push this guy long haul, but you don't have glass clear, you get punished. There was a time in Elevator where Suppress flew towards Elevator with a Shock Rifle. He got punished for not checking his corners and just assuming that it was clear, right? These players are playing at such a fast pace right now in this game. It seems to be a little hectic. Whichever team can find the calmness and find better awareness throughout the rest of the series will probably come away with it at the end.
Sniper Rifle going to be the prize action of this map, and Doo-Boo's going to be the first player that pulls it away, gets the sniper and position towards the hill right away, and he's ripping heads as well. Boo Boo Doo Boo takes Cycle and puts him on the respawn screen, somehow able to survive, and well, the rest of his team wasn't able to do so. You see Complexity win the fight towards Overshield, but Boo Boo Doo Boo gets the time. Now Complexity with a real opportunity with this Overshield to make the push, but you have to be aware of Boo Boo Doo Boo and what he can do with this sniper rifle, or what he can do by throwing it off. An early play by Boo Boo Doo Boo.
Yeah, you always wonder what the best play is at the start of Livefire King of the Hill. Do you play for the early time? Do you play for Overshield? G1 with map control opted to play for the early hill time. It actually wasn't that much. It's about what, a third, maybe a fourth of the full hill, and right now Complexity able to slay them out, able to get a little bit of control themselves, and if they can get a couple of kills here back green, which they just did, they're going to be able to take the lead here, at least on the first point.
Monster, he goes sky high, tries to stay alive, able to get those shields back, in G1 coordinating their ways towards sandbags. The first nade going to be able to get the first pick, and now the rest of G1 start to play forward. These next couple kills could be vital, and Collect's doing his best to survive, but they are hunting them down like dogs. Fallicated able to get the double. Complexity sees the respawn screen.
And this is the guy I want to step up for G1 and become that superstar on this team. We've talked about Falcated for a few years now as far as taking that next step, becoming that Renegade-esque player, becoming that Lucid type player, that superstar that can take his team to a championship and lead them in slays. I believe Falcated has that talent. I don't know if he's ever felt comfortable enough on a team to where he's really been given the dog off the leash moment and been able to just slay out. This could be the team, like we talked about, their friendship and like the trust that this team will have as they develop as a roster. Let's see what Falcated can bring us with this killing spree and heatwave in hand.
5 in a row. It's gonna get taken down, but his impact was so measurable, and you can see G1 still with the position on the map to get this hill and playing forward to get slays. Sav not stopping anytime soon. He's serving up some pancakes. The second beatdown is not gonna connect, but it makes the player fly away, and Complexity in danger. Look at Suppress playing forward for the spawn clutch.
I actually love this play by him. He's going to be able to use these spike grenades that are so powerful. Does this player expect him to be there? No, Monster slides right by. Sometimes when those nades are gone, you almost expect the player to be around that area. Monster doesn't expect that. Because of it, it's an easy kill, and this overextension is going to turn into a flank very quickly.
He gets to the flank, but Complexity, they seem to have been winning the fights towards the hill. It's getting a little bit rocky. Cycle's trying to get towards these spawns. Sap, the last player to worry about. Those nades gonna zone him out, but he has the sniper as backup. 8 bullets to work with. Suppressed feels that first one, and now the kill feed's starting to light up blue, but he stays on the map. How does Sap hang on? He gets the sniper, pulls it away, and G1 still fighting for these spawns.
So many individual plays on the side of Gamers First so far throughout these first 2 points. They have to figure out a way to close this second point out, but when they do, you'll be able to see how confident they're playing. Sad on a killing spree as well. Falcated's had 1 for the first point. Sab gives you a killing spree for the second point, and this is G1 individuals just popping off.
G1 having to play back towards that overshield. It looks like Falcated gonna be the player of choice, but the stick from Cycle keeps him away. But G1 eventually gonna win that overshield. But Complexity not trying to give them anything for free. They make it hard, but not hard enough. Able to get into this hill. It looks like this one's gonna be free for G1 to take home.
Second point, it belongs to G1 as well. The sandbox, it belongs to G1 as well. It's a killing spree for Suppressed. Everybody starting to get theirs here, and you'll love to see this out of G1, building some momentum, building an incredible lead here in game 3. And with this momentum, how far can they go in this tournament? It's a big question for me, because the second that this team starts believing in themselves, they're going to go very far.
Boo trying to fly forward. He wants to take care of Cycle, knowing how important these spawns can be for his team. On an island by himself, it's the 1v1, and Tusk sends him to the grave. Tusk gonna be able to win the spawns for Complexity, and now it's just 2 more players to deal with, and Tusk tries to get into the face. Repo sends him back, but Collect is working on the flank. Collect gets there. Collect can only get the trade, and 4 go down for Complexity.
4 dead again. Complexity can't catch a break right now. Not a lot of teamwork coming out of them, and the individual battles are going to Gamers First just about every time, whether it's due to sandbox control, the repulse we've seen a ton, the snipe, the overshields. G1 doing such a good job of scavenging for that equipment, the weapons, and putting it to use once they have it.
Complexity able to win these first couple fights. Suppress has to run tail in hand, trying to give his team that B spawn, but looks like he is going to be successful at getting them that spawn. Boo and Suppress have to work together. Collect, gonna take the damage. Here we go. Boo gets in. Tusk trying to find the flank. Suppress needs to win the fight. Tusk, can he go big? Tusk keeps winning them.
That's a big one by Tusk, but Suppressed to be able to stay alive, to take his head out of the sight lines of that big door player with that quick repulse, that keeps him alive, allows him to do some extra damage. Complexity doing a phenomenal job of fighting for this third hill, trying to stay in this game, because if you go down 3-0, you can chalk this game up. But right now, G1 still in control of the heat wave, still in control of a very powerful position in the small window. Falcated finds himself a kill. Can't quite find the second player, as he did some good damage to him, and still G1 come out on top. So as hard as Complexity is fighting to stay in this game, it looks like it's all for naught.
It's one final push. Tusk trying to get in, repulsed away. Suppressed gets the kill. Suppressed secures the hill. Everything going right for G1, 3-0, and now Complexity praying for an option, trying to find a path to victory. But like you said, when you go up 3-0, it almost feels like you have to chalk up the game. So hard to find 4 consecutive hills to win a game.
I mean, you got to play time, you got to play points, everything's at your disposal, right? Your win conditions are unbelievable right now. I don't know if I've ever seen in tournament play a team come back down from 3-0. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to see it happen. I don't think this is going to be the game, not with how well G1 are playing, and especially not with how well they're controlling the sandbox, taking away win conditions from Complexity left and right.
And I wouldn't expect to see G1 step in a hill anytime soon. Time only being at 1 minute and 15 seconds. Expect to see G1 play on the outside, and every kill just benefits them. Boo gets the triple. Complexity spawning so far away. G1 have all the power weapons, truly a mountain to climb for this complexity roster as they're starting to make brought to slaughter. They're all coming through the open fields, but there's just players in red awaiting, taking them down. They're able to slaughter these players as they play forward. There's nothing that complexity can do trying to get to this hill.
I mean, Game is first playing a flawless game 3 right here. Everybody making individual plays. We snapped on the Boobadooboo screen when he hit the perfect for the triple. That was the one player I hadn't called out for having a killing spree so far in this game. And of course, he's making an individual play as we switch to his screen, hitting some beautiful shots. Everyone on Game is first starting to hit that groove, and that's what you really need for your team here, is to find your groove on Saturday, hit your stride on Sunday, finish strong. And I love the fact that G1 are going to have a very complimentary gameplay when everyone's clicking.
15 seconds left. I think complexity thinking about just waving the white flag. Only one more push left to make this happen. Sab with the heat wave can control lane by himself. Cycle finds that first kill, but the time just keeps ticking off, and complexity will not be able to get there in time. G1 take a 2-1 map advantage in the series, and really a flawless game at King of the Hill. What did you see that really made a difference in that game between these two rosters?
Yeah, I know I touched on it a little bit, but I think the sandbox control was just overly dominant by G1. They were making individual plays, but with those individual plays, I mean, how many times did we see repulse come into play, whether it was used to stay alive, to knock a player off, to knock a player back, like just to throw off the rhythm of that like combat loop is so massive. We saw a couple of shrouds come into play. The snipe did its work as well. Killing sprees on just about everybody's screen on the side of Gamers First, and what that tells you is everybody that is given an opportunity with that power, whether it's the heat wave or the snipe or the overshield, is going off, is playing their lives so well that they're able to get 5 consecutive kills with it. When teams are doing that, especially in a mode like King of the Hill, you're probably going to have control of the area based as well, as long as you're positioned correctly, and those points just come the way of G1 after those plays are made.
Absolutely phenomenal game through and through, and now complexity really having a fight from their back foot for the first time in the series. And now it's more a very important series, because this is going to determine who gets first in their pool. And you know, the difference between first and second is huge, right, Clutch? Because the difference of playing against a team like Optic or a team, you know, one of the other teams. So it's, I always feel like the first seed is so much more important than people give it credit for, because if you don't get first, then you're basically you have a 50-50 chance of playing a team like FaZe or Optic in your first round.
Yeah, I guess if you're looking at the bracket and FaZe is on one side and Optics on the other, I mean, you're kind of screwed no matter what. It's just a matter of when you played them. You got your hands full, but nobody's unbeatable right now. And I think like a team like G1, a team like Complexity, like we've seen Complexity create upsets of that magnitude online. So I'll resort this conversation to G1, who I think has a better chance of probably at a LAN event getting the job done there. If they're playing all four on, like if they're all playing together in unison and they're all playing very well, they can beat anybody, right? And all they need to do is focus on how they're playing the map and what they're able to control. Once they have that control, they're good enough to get the job done. I think it's all about being on the same page. I think Suppressed, the pickup of someone that they know a little bit better than Suspector, and like that friendship allows you to dive into a little bit more of an opportunity to like seize that moment when you're given it. We're obviously here in an online tournament in the HCS 4K, and they're able to build some reps here, but these reps are going to be so important when they get onto the bigger stages.
Right, I mean the time between now and the next LAN is quickly dissipating, right? We have the FaZe tournament coming up soon, right? And then after that FaZe tournament, we go straight into LAN season. The summer is like jam-packed, right? We have DreamHack, we have HCS Optic, HCS Arlington, and then the Space Station Invitational in like a span of like 4 months, Clutch. I think this is your last time to figure it out as a team before you get put into the fire and go to LAN. So what is it like preparing for LANs? And then once you get to that LAN season, because especially back in the day, you're familiar with the whole gauntlet of running LAN month after month.
Yeah, I think it's odd that teams like got away from landing each other so much. I think that was such a beneficial piece right before a tournament to just grind a ton of Halo against another top tier team in the LAN environment and really get used to like the response time and be able to break things down as a team in person, but I think teams do a really good job of going over some of that difficulty online now with like theater work and film reviews with each other. But nothing's going to replace those tournament moments, right? There's nothing like being in the atmosphere with a crowd on a stage with bright lights, cameras shining at you, with the moment of, hey, this best of 5 decides a lot of my career or whatnot. So those moments that come few and far between, you really have to seize them. What you can do to prepare for them, I mean, it's the little things. It's making sure we're all on the same page about such little situations that we're going to run into, that there's no question as to, am I pushing this? Am I falling off? Am I doing this? What's the right play here? We're all on the same page and we're moving forward. The teams that put in the most hours typically have that advantage. Teams like Complexity and Gamers First, they've been putting in a lot of hours recently. I know they scrim all the time. I talk to a couple of players on Complexity on a daily basis, so it's good that although the teams have made new recent changes, they're getting after it. They're dedicated to having that opportunity of success.
So here we go. Game 4 on its way. Argyle, CTL, one of the newer maps in rotation. And while we've seen a clear push from 343 to add these 2 sniper maps, and I couldn't be happier about having them in rotation. Watching Argyle, watching Pitt, seeing the action with the sniper rifles that take place, it feels like it's given a new fresh air to the HCS, and how much can come down to making sure that you have a player that can absolutely pop off with the sniper rifle. Who's going to step up for both these teams? Who's going to be the player that gets the sniper rifle? And for Complexity, it's going to be the youngest player in HCS. Cycle gets this sniper, and he's ready to take off some heads. Camouflage, interesting enough, Clutch, we haven't seen this too often. Finally, the Clutch gets the camo gets taken up, but normally we see that camo picked up right away. Some time being burned off the clock before it goes into the hands of Collect, where it's immediately burned.
Okay, quick question. Is this an observer glitch or is someone out of the map right now? Because I only see 3 players on the side of Gamer First.
I think G1 is having a player. Oh, but there's 4 on the screen.
Yeah, I'm slightly confused. They're continuing to play, so I'm going to assume that everybody's in the game. Sorry to ruin the flow there.
No, it's all good. I mean, this is the first time I've seen this glitch. This is an interesting one.
3 go down. First time I'm seeing it. I'll log the bug on Monday, everybody. Don't give me a hard time.
So Suppress is the only player that we we can't see, but he's clearly in the lobby as he just hit the respawn screen. Boo Boo Doo hits the snipe shot to take down Tusk. This flag clearly on its way. Collect on the other side, gonna try to make sure that this flag gets returned, but you can see G1 trying to get this grab. Monster, the return comes in. G1 try to desperate, but there's nothing they can do. Flag comes back. We're back to a 50-50 standoff.
Okay, so it was G1 with the real first opportunity to run the flag. They had at least 3 down. They got the pull. They got it over halfway. Something went wrong in the meantime. Wasn't really able to catch it. The return is going to come through, keeping this game 0-0. But I love the hot start from Gamers First, especially after a strong game 3, to come out and be aggressive objectively and put Complexity on their back heels.
Right now, Camouflage coming up in 10 seconds, and you're starting to see the pushes come through. These teams, whoever gets these next couple kills, going to be able to dictate who comes away with this. Camouflage. Sap gets the big win. Camo now up for grabs as he looks onto the cross. Monster taking some heavy damages as Sap keeps trying to knock on the door, but nothing answers quite back like a sniper shot. Monster gonna be able to get the camouflage in hand, and Tusk with that sniper feels as if the momentum has changed. Complexity now on the attack.
Let's see what Tusk can do with the snipe. Looks like Collect's gonna be in a high position as well. He may have an S7 as well, and they have 2. That'd be something to play around, but it's really difficult to push into the enemy base when you do have 2 snipers. He actually ends up getting flanked and losing his life, and that's a good job by Gamers First to not maybe have the power on the map, but find a way to get the slays and reset the map yourself.
And now Boo Boo Doo, he's gonna have to pick up the snipe, using it for his team. G1 struggling on getting forward on this map. And it's going to come down to some big snipe shots. Boo Boo Doo looking for Tusk. The head was there, but the reticle not quite lined up yet. But information for his team. It's a 2-2 split for G1, trying to make their way. Tusk taking in some pop shots. They're trying to isolate Boo Boo Doo in this fight, but Boo Boo Doo just aware. Every time a player pushes, he's ready for the shot. Tusk able to get him to 1, but not the cleanup. Boo Boo Doo struggling on playing forward on this map. It feels like Complexity are always pushing him back. Can he hit the shot? Tusk has desperately, look at how many resources he puts in. Finally, Suppressed is there, but the job gets done. Cycle gets in through this base, and Clutch, what is that pressure that's being provided right there? Boo Boo Doo just not able to play forward. Complexity seems to be surging forward, and now G1 on their back foot.
Yeah, Complexity kept killing Boo Boo Doo's teammates right in that situation. It kind of forced Boo Boo Doo to play passively, and he couldn't really find an opening. Collect continuing to get pick after pick with the snipe is keeping G1 trapped in their base. Unfortunately, the guys from Complexity that are trying to move into the base, trying to get that 1 or 2 kills that's going to start the flag run, aren't having any success as well. So Gamers First doing a good job of that last step defense, getting the job done, keeping this at a 0-0 game. A couple of kills here or there would have had this game 1-0 in Complexity's favor, but a good defensive stand once again by G1 keeps this game tied.
Tosca was able to get the kill on the sniper. This camouflage going to be so important for his team, as he is going to be that first player forward. Not often are you going to see the sniper camo combination be this forward on the map, leading the charge for his team, waiting for the help. 2 snipers working perpendicular for Complexity, trying to find this first pick, but unfortunately G1 finds that first one. Complexity trying to stay alive, but somehow G1 getting the kill. Cycle with the last second push. Sab trying to keep him back. Cycle, he has to turn all the way back. Look at the flagpole across the map.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of dropping down to try and kill that player below. He's not much of a threat down there, and the second Complexity go down to try and get that quick kill, when they lose their player, they're going to lose their opportunity at a flag run. And in the meantime, Boo Boo Doo's in their base being an absolute nuisance. But Cycle still trying to find his way throughout this base. He's got his teammate Tusk after picking up a kill that's going to be able to run this. And this is Complexity's first opportunity at a flag run. So Cycle's done a phenomenal job of staying alive. And now he should get a free kill on the Boo Boo, catching him off guard. And if they can get a couple more kills, they're going to be able to take this lead.
This flag is moving, and Cycle's trying to get the damage down. Suppress takes him down, but wasn't enough time. Tusk sees the respawn screen as well. It's all up to the new blood. Collect on the roster, looking to stop this flag. 2 players from right, gonna wrap the corner. The nade is perfect. The nade,
that's beautiful.
The flag, it's still up. The flag is coming back. Boo Boo Doo gets the kill, but Collect is almost home. Boo Boo Doo has to be the hero. Boo Boo Doo gets 2. Tusk shuts him down. It's up to Foul. He finishes it off. 1 more player. The flag, it's grabbed. Foul goes down. Monster gates it home. Just 1 more step and it's home. What a back and forth between these teams.
What a scrappy play by so many different members on Complexity. First it was Monster getting a touch, throwing it to Collect as he goes down, but more players having to give their lives to get that touch to eventually get the job done. The exact amount of slays come through that they needed. The clutch kills, the touches, the advancements on the flag. It was perfect. It was scrappy, and Complexity take the lead 1-0.
Val's trying to do his best to stay alive, but he's hunted down. And now Monster going to be able to work with the rest of his team to clear the base. The rats are gone. Able to play forward. Monster going to be working alongside his teammate. They find the first pick, and Val's in trouble, taking some heavy damages, and Complexity are flying forward. G1 not in their base, just 1 player just allocated to play defense, and Monster's taking it right towards his base. That stick's gonna get him the trade, but the rest of Complexity seeing the respawn screen. Cycle, the only player alive, and Falcade can hear his footsteps. He's coming in for the death blow, but Cycle somehow wins the elbow fight. Boo Boo Doo's pulling the flag on the other side, but Cycle, he's a 1-man army in the back of this base. G1 have to deal with him if they're gonna get this flag home, and Cycle just keeps winning gunfights, perfect shots. The flag almost to the corner. Cycle, 1 last opportunity to get this flag home for his team. 2 players on top of it. Cycle staying alive for now. The rest of Complexity have caught up. They're ready for this fight. Cycle somehow gets between 2, getting the damage in. Monster from the back is able to get the kills. Now it's time to get on this return. Nade pulling him away. Somehow G1 are getting the job done. Sap able to grab this flag. The flag is coming home. This will be the counter cap. G1 find a solution.
We talk about scrappy plays from Complexity. G1 answer it with their own scrappy cabin themselves. Trades back and forth. Cycle winning 2 massive 1v1s to try and do everything he can to try and delay that Gamer's first cap, but it wasn't enough. Sab makes a play, gets a double. Monster tries to hop the return, couldn't get the job done. It was too exposed, and the kills came through. This game now tied up 1-1, and another flag on the move for Gamers First.
Being aggressive with this sniper on sniper battle, 2 feet away from each other, and Monster's the one that comes out on top, but that flag is still going. It's a triple kill, but suppressed. He's gonna be the fourth. It's an overkill for the Monster. Boo Boo Doo he's not gonna challenge out for the kill tag. It's gonna be an easy return for Complexity. Massive plays for Monster to get the return.
And a big 4 kills that was, right? This game would have been 2-1 in favor of Gamers First, but Monster kills all 4, gets the return himself at 21-15 right now, doing it all. He's even got the cap on the side of Complexity. Was a massive piece into putting that flag in as well. So Monster having himself a very strong game 4 here for Complexity.
Boo is going to be able to get that pull, but the answers are right away for Complexity, taking G1 to the respawn screen, and now Collect, that forward player who gets taken down, allocated, playing that line of defense, and Complexity's push. It always feels like it's getting stopped just short, but then there's an answer. How does Complexity keep playing forward on this map?
It's so much pressure being applied by each team, I would say, when they have this control. Camo coming up in 10, and it really is the snipers that have been able to dictate the amount of pressure. I think with them spawning every 2 minutes, it's just so often that a player gets an opportunity at a power curve to create openings. And right now, I'd love to be able to see suppressed stats. You have to imagine that they're pretty strong if they're keeping up with Complexity in this game so far, with the amount of slays on the side of Monster, and nobody really answering it on the side of Gamers First so far.
Okay, with the sniper, he's gonna have the chance to find the answers. Tusk taking that opening damage, and G1 for the first time, it feels like they're gonna have the ability to pull up as a unit. One more chance. Collect taking some heavy damages. The shots from foul not gonna come home. Monster somehow survives. The shot not gonna be enough. Boo Boo Doo does find the answer. Sniper in his hands, and Complexity 3 down, seeing the respawn screen. This is the push that G1's been waiting for.
Last player alive spotted too. That's an important piece of the puzzle, but Boo Boo Doo loses his life to respawners right there, and that's a tough one to swallow. The flag is on the move. But when you're starting to lose players, Sab going down, Suppress going down, Monster picks up a double, snipe in hand. Who better than Monster to get the return again after getting a 2-kill advantage for his team? Rips the head off of Boo Boo Doo as well, puts that cap to piece. And with 45 seconds left, it looks like Complexity is going to have the best opportunity to potentially end this one in regulation.
Yeah, one real last chance for Complexity to get through, and the kills are starting to come in blue. Sniper, Monster not going to be able to connect, but his teammates are there to help him. Collect gets the kill, and now the base is open. From the flank comes the rest, but Monster somehow takes down one. Falcade trying his best to pick up the pieces, but Collect stays alive. Tusk gets the kill, and now the base of Gamers First is swarming with players from Complexity. Sab gonna do his best to stay alive, but Cycle not gonna be able to survive. Taken down, and now this might buy just enough time for the spawners at G1 to get back and to get this return. It looks successful. No one's gonna be able to pull out a flag. We're gonna go to overtime with how this is at the moment, unless some miracle play comes through. Overtime in our future.
No miracle today. It's gonna be overtime for us here in game 4. As strong as Complexity looked at times, G1 looked just as strong. The objective really difficult to be played here as individuals just stepping up on the defensive end at any time. It was a real opportunity for either team to really gain a significant advantage, get a flag on the move. Someone always stepped up and got a couple of kills. Let's see who's going to be that one player that makes the play that ends this game. And Cycle with the snipe, taking off Boo Boo Doo's heads, taking the snipe out of his hands, could be the player to watch.
Yeah, just give him a tiny piece of his head. He'll make sure it comes in handy. Collect able to pull this flag, but immediately taken down on the cross. Cycle looking for some sort of action to take players down, but just not going to be able to get those shots to come true. That flag looking more and more likely to be a return. An immediate answer for G1. Collect the last player alive, and now G1 looking for their counterattack.
Yeah, I really wasn't happy with how Cycle played that. I don't see a lot of success come from snipers up top attic in this area. You're so exposed and you're limited to a lot of the angles that respawners are having. You saw how far Collect was able to get that flag across the street right there, but unfortunately, if he had had a little bit of help, maybe one player to suppress a respawner that was taking him down, that flag even continues to get further. Unfortunately, Complexity gonna have to think about that one later on because the match still continues. Gamers first now in control of the map. Sab with snipe, hitting the body onto Tusk as well, so he's creating openings everywhere.
It's always so scary when you see the player just keep their reticle still with the sniper and you're like, I think I was gonna hit. Just short for Sab, but the rest of G1, they're ready for the action. Coming into the base, they're ready to take them all down, but the kills have yet to come through. Complexity open up the trap, and Falcade's gonna have to retreat for now. No opportunity for a flagpole, but an answer on Monster, able to get one player before he goes down.
Yeah, great awareness to be able to head on a swivel, turn your focus from players at the flag to top camo right there, stopping an enemy player from grabbing that camo. Now Tusk in a 2v1 trying to fight for that camouflage himself. And I believe camo is going to go in the hands of gamers first. Maybe Sab was the player that just had it. He gets taken down. I'm not quite sure where it ended up, if it even was activated at this time, but I'm sure we'll find that out shortly. In the meantime, Falcade has found himself a snipe.
Tusk being so annoying at the back, but he just bought enough time and he's still alive. Tusk looking to knock on the door, but Sab waiting on the other side. He looks to clean it all up, able to get the kill, and the push from Complexity stopped with the double kill from Sab as he looks to play forward. The rest of his team ready. Look at Boo Boo Doo tricking all the way down, ready to get into this action. G1 quick to get on this attack, but Monster quick to find the response. Complexity looking to hold off G1, but Sab, he's not slowing down anytime soon. Collect sees the respawn screen. Two players from Complexity are down, and Sab has control of the back base, looking to finesse his life as long as he can. Oh, almost able to get him off the map.
You see the vision. The execution could have been a little bit better. I think he short-slided there, wasn't able to cut the gap. But that's a heads-up positioning by Tusk right there to make sure he's not getting repulsed, because if he does get repulsed and doesn't get that kill, that could be the game deciding kill right there. So a good job by Complexity to flush out G1 from their base, but they're gonna have to do it once again because it looks like G1 are trying to be aggressive. Falcated on screen.
Ooh, cycle. Man, that's 4 perfect shots. Boo Boo Doo now has to deal with the young gun underneath the base and trying to hunt him down, playing off the information from before. Finally, Cycle's position's known. Sab gets the kill, and they have to hunt down the rest of Complexity, but it's quick work. Collect staying up top. Boo Boo Doo, he's gonna try to contest for this camouflage. Collect needs to steal this one away. The grapple was there, but not quick enough to get the camo on board. Camo still down in those top vents. Falcated not gonna be able to put it home as well. Camo still up for grabs. Who can get away with it? Cycle sees the respawn screen as well. It's trade for trade, but Complexity finally starting to get some kills, and Tusk thinking about pulling this flag home.
Not gonna be able to respawners from the elbow. We're gonna immediately cut Tusk off of that angle, but a good job by Tusk to just back up and hold this position, right? A lot of information for Complexity to work with now. I believe they may even have that camo in hand, as it was on the ground for that long. It is going to go into Collect. He's got Snipe as well. What can he do?
Snipe.
He can take the first, he can take the second. Give him a second and he'll take them all. Look at this, the real opportunity for Complexity. Flags away, 12 seconds on the game clock, but Collect keeps knocking him down. The last second pull, can it be successful? Boo Boo Doo last line of defense. Cycle and Tusk trying to get there in time. We're going to have a little bit of extra time to work with. Pulling this flag resets the extra time. They can keep this one going. Falcade gets the kills. Complexity down in numbers, but that flag still alive for them. Collect keeps the time in, but G1, 3 players there. There's nothing Complexity can do. We're going into a double overtime.
If I'm Collect, I'm thinking to myself, what do I have to do to get us a cap? Because that looks like one of the opportunities that they're gonna be kicking themselves for not getting that last final kill, because Collect killed 3 of them and they have the flag on the move. Unfortunately, G1 get the job done. They get the return, do just enough to stay in this game, and we're gonna have a replay here shortly. And we deserve a replay. 2 big shots out of Collect immediately with the camo, gets the flag on the move. You can't ask the kid to do any more. The new gun to the team, making a third on the foul, and this is just beautiful. Reticle
That's
placement.
3 players down. Wait. Did you see that, Clutch? Look at this flag. Look at this. He guesses he's gonna hit this shot, but look at the bottom right of your screen right now. Boom, right there. Look at that spawn.
God. Well, that makes sense.
I was wondering how they got this stop.
I'll be talking about it Monday.
Take it back to the office, Clutch.
Yeah.
We can't be having that. What in the spawn from Boo Boo Doo saves the game for G1?
That's tough. Yeah, you wondered how those players got there so quickly. Well, hey, when you slow it down and replay, you can kind of tell that spawn going to be everything for G1 right now. Thanking their lucky stars, they got that one. And unfortunately for Complexity, when they see that replay, they're going to be pretty upset with it.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what the positions were of Complexity. Like, you have to be blocking everything, right? I'm not aware of how that spawn happens, but that might be one of the most unfortunate spawns I've ever seen. You get 3 players down and the 4th just spawns right in front of your flag path. Nothing you can do about it, and now we have to reset ourselves into Argyle once again. This time, first flag cap wins the game, but we know how hard it can be to get a flag home, Clutch.
It was tough. There was a lot of opportunities for both teams, but I mean, both times, or so many different times throughout that game, I should say, you thought a flag that was on the run was going to be capped. You saw 3 go down, but those respawners came off so aggressive, so opportunistic. We're able to get the sways and stop any real flag runs. I mean, the fact that that game was only 1-1 with as much action as we saw, as many flags on the move as we saw, is impressive to the defensive stands we saw from the teams. I mean, that beneficial spawn's going to obviously be one to talk about, but there were several times where Monster steps up, gets an overkill, gets the return. Monster stepped up a second time, got a double kill, got the return. Several times G1 looked like they were in a lot of trouble, and one player made a play that got a double kill that stopped an entire flag run by himself. Those kind of plays don't really show up in the scoreboard as much, but I mean, the action in this series so far is such a high level right now to stay in it, whether it's going to game 5, whether we're closing the door here in game 4, these players are stepping up and answering the ring of the bell.
Well, here we go, back to the start. They've done this 3 times now. Who has the better opening start? Collect, going a little bit different. He's styling, Clutch. He's styling from mid-air, grapples it out. Camo in the hands of Complexity.
3 go down as well for G1, so Cycle with a lot of responsibility here. He loses all 3 teammates. You want to stay alive. They know exactly where he is. Falcated on the hunt. Falcated eats the nade, though, and beautifully done by Cycle to continue to control his side of the map right now. Now that the snipes and the map control is going to be split, let's see how Complexity have to play this one around.
Sometimes you see players do stuff in game, you're like, damn, I always thought about doing that. That is crazy. Collect was able to get that camo, and now Complexity, they have an opportunity. Collect being that leading charge player. Cycle trying to watch his flank, but Suppress working with Falcated, able to get that kill, and now Collect on an island. No one to help him, but he somehow is getting these kills. Collect finally taken care of, and Complexity's push is finally done as G1 look for their response, trying to play forward onto the map.
Yeah, you want to see G1 be a little bit quicker to advance on the map, but Monster is going to be tough to deal with bottom middle right now, but Badu will get some good damage, and that's going to be numbers advantage for the first time really in this game for G1. Let's see how they're going to decide to try and play this. They find a second, and as they find continuous staggered respawners for Complexity, this is an opportunity that I'd say they probably squandered not being aggressive as a unit on either the right or the left side.
Well, Sal was able to find that kill, but there's just Complexity constantly on the push. Suppress needs to find a big shot here, take down that forward player. But unfortunately, is it Collect that's on the flank? He was able to get 1. No, he makes it 2 before they have to deal with it, but that means Camo gets away. Oh no, Boo Boo Doo Boo shuts it down. That almost was a massive play for Complexity. Collect with that flank.
Big kill by Boo Boo Doo Boo to take down Monster as he was activating the camo. I believe he did burn it though, so it does get out of the control of Gamers First. You know how lethal those camo flag runs can be on this map, and G1's done great ever since. They had just A momentary 4 down for Complexity. The flag's going to be run towards Snipe. They're expecting the high spawns on the side of Complexity, and Valketa trying to anchor the left side of the map with the Snipe. He's got all of the opportunity to end this game in Gamers' first hands.
Cycle's the only player that's forward that can really stop this flag, but is back given a foul right away. Tusk was able to find a kill. That flag still on its way. Suppressed, gonna get this around the corner. Tusk is working on the front end, able to get the kill, able to find another. Trades are in. Boo Boo Doo needs to win the fight against Monster. The nades gonna be enough, but Cycle's there. Sab, can he pull? Sab gets the kill, but the pull's not there. What looked like a perfect run stopped short.
You have to kill Monster there, and unfortunately another 1v1 on in the hands of Monster. It gets the return for Complexity. They do just enough to keep this game tied 0-0. And how much pressure? You can cut the tension with a knife right now. Somebody's got to mess up. Someone's got to make a play for this game to be decided. But every single time you think the game's about to end, someone steps up, makes that play on the defensive side, gets the return. It was Monster again this time around.
Cycle working on his way through with camouflage coming up in 10 seconds. These next couple kills are going to determine who gets away with the prized possession. Snipers coming up as well. You see Collect going to be the player of choice for Complexity to have the sniper, and the kills start to go in favor of G1. They've had one good opportunity to pull this flag yet, and now they're looking for their second. They're able to take down the sniper. Suppress gets 2. They're on the run. Clutch, here we go.
Respawners coming on the snipe side, exactly where you want them if you're Gamers first, but they can't get the touch, and they're going to lose Valketa as they push in. Suppress takes a ton of damage without having his reticle even placed in a direction of the opponent, and right there, because he's forced to back up, he's losing teammates left and right in the base. He's actually the last guy alive at the base. He gets taken down. That's a squandered push from Gamers first. It was pretty sloppy. Someone needed to get the touch. I think he wanted to grapple it towards that street side, but it was immediately shut down, and Complexity's defense stands strong again.
They can't keep getting away with it. G1 frustrated in these moments, and now Complexity with an opportunity for a flag pull. It's going to be Tusk, the opening player. Collect hits the big snipe shot to keep this one going. Suppresses on the flank, but Collect keeps knocking him down. Oh no, just one more player to deal with. Game 5 looking like it's on the horizon. Suppress sees the respawn screen. The crosses are coming through, but Collect has the sniper to deal with it. That flag almost home. Is there anyone to stop it? Collect will do it himself. Pushes it in. Game 5, here we come.
Beautiful plays out of Complexity. They got the slays they needed. Collect with the snipe created every opportunity to keep that flag on the move. But the more important play was being able to sniff out that flank, collapse on that player, take him down before he buys enough time for the respawners to affect the rest of that flag run. Everybody stays alive, and they get the job done in what, double OT we'll call it?
Yeah, I think that's probably a 22-minute game. Is it probably longer? I think it's like a 25-minute game with flag. Basically a half hour.
I'll tell you what, these players are not keeping my throat in mind when deciding how long this game goes. I've been sick earlier this week. That's why the rasp is there. It's not me adding a little bit of riz to the commentary, I promise you.
Throat hurts.
20-minute games don't help, but I love the action. I actually love the high tier Halo we're able to see.
I promise you it's working, Clutch. There we go. Aquarius game 5. Everything comes down to the Slayer. Last time we saw the Slayer, G1 was able to come out on top after Boo Boo Doo Boo made that trap play over towards Long Haul. If you're Complexity, you're in this moment, you push yourself to a game 5. What are you saying to the troops if you're the veteran on Complexity to make sure that your gun stay in line and play the right way, Clutch?
Yeah, I think in that game 4, you did everything right. You had so many individual plays made by just about everybody to get the job done, whether it was a defensive return that you needed or a cap on your side. The snipes were looking good. On a map like Aquarius, Complexity, the one thing we've seen from them all series is they run together. They are a team that heavily believes in like group play and making sure that they're swarming individuals. You saw it on Suppressed on that flank at the end. It was Monster. It was 3 players sliding out from different directions at the kid. And that's how, if Complexity want to play, I think that play style is going to benefit you heavily on a map like Aquarius. That, hey, we're pushing, we have the gun skill to keep up. If we get an advantage, we see an advantage, let's take the advantage and run with it. Don't second guess our momentum and our opportunities and our windows. And we're going to have a lot of success here. I think this is a great game 5 for Complexity to see. And on the side of G1, you need to slow the game down a little bit. I think Complexity playing at their pace is only going to cause you some trouble. G1, a much more methodical team in my eyes. And if they're able to control the pace of the game a little bit better, I think that they're going to have more success themselves.
Well, here we go. Game 5 on the horizon. We're going through these replays. I mean, God, we have probably like 5 minutes of replays just from this game alone. But the start is on its way for our 5th game. Who's going to be the icy player? Who's going to be the one that steps up to the table and take home this victory? Aquarius going to be the map of choice. Slayer, the game. Everything. I have a feeling bad. Sometimes you can feel a game going into a 50-49 finish. I'm going to manifest it in this moment because that's what this series deserves. It's been back and forth through and through, but finally we're on our way. The fight is starting. Collect and Monster working over towards that P side, trying to get their way towards that camouflage, but Boo Boo Doo a strong defensive line at the back of the base, keeping eyes on the camo. And so long we're seeing this action go down, but kills don't come until the last moment. Cycle able to get away with the camo, so Boo Boo Doo feeling from that back base, not able to stop Complexity from getting away with this camo.
Yeah, Boo Boo Doo did absolutely nothing there at the start, right? And look how much map control Complexity just took. They got camo, and look at how aggressive they want to be. They're flying at respawners over towards yellow, already in the base. This camo player, he's behind enemy lines right now. Does he know the player's in the closet? He has thrust to play around. Thank God he does, because he uses it perfectly to get the kill. Cycle able to flush out yellow, and now look, wash, rinse, repeat. You flush out yellow, you rotate towards blue, and they look to be aggressive once again.
Yeah, keeping them on the respawn streak. Complexity just can't seem to lose a gunfight. Now the last player is a G1, surviving towards this fridge. The information's out, and the rest of Complexity trying to make do. Finally, Boo Boo Doo able to put one onto the board, and the rest of G1 trying to find their solution. They've been trapped over by fridge, but somehow getting these kills. The Cycle has to stay back and get his shields back. And so I'm so surprised that G1 was able to stabilize Clutch.
Yeah, honestly, a phenomenal job by G1 to keep this at a very close game so far with the map control that Complexity has had. Right now, we'll see if that continues to be that way. It's up to 4 at this point. You need to stabilize some map control rather than keep the score close, because eventually that map control will weigh on them, will make a difference in that scoreline.
Well, the thing that created this deficit is up once again. Camouflage up for grabs, and Complexity with the better position at the moment, getting the kills. Boo Boo Doo's trying to race towards this camo, and Complexity, they drop down to find more kills. It's gonna give Boo Boo Doo this camouflage, and well, Boo Boo Doo's the best camouflage player I think we've seen in the HCS in many years.
Probably in the history of Halo, in my opinion. The amount of plays that this kid has made with camo in tournament play, I think it's bar none. I mean, you could compare it to Pistola back in the day, but those two are leagues and bounds beyond the first two that come to mind for myself, and already starting to have an impact. And look at this, the map control with the camo control, it goes 1-to-1, because now Complexity not able to fly around and do whatever they want. They have to worry about the presence of Boo Boo Doo and the impact that he's going to have. He's able to get so much damage on several players here, and being a nuisance here, front yellow, staying alive on top of it for as long as he did, it's given G1 the lead.
I can't believe he was alive for that long, and now the rest of G1, they have an opportunity to collapse, but oh no, Complexity, they play with each other in droves, able to get through, get the kill, and break out the position. Now you start to see things slow down. Suppress working with his teammate to get into this back base, but Sab's gonna have some problems. Tusk takes him down, and Suppress has to leave. Complexity able to play forward onto this map, and Suppress is trying to do his best to get kills, but the rest of Complexity starting to feast.
Well, you manifested a 50-49 right now, 23-23. We're headed in that direction, the score would say. Both teams having their moments of control, both teams taking advantages of those moments. But right now it's Carside and the Dynamo Grenades. It's the focus for both these two teams. Collect under a lot of pressure, is able to get a kill before getting taken down. But kills once again traded 25-25.
Halfway throughout this game, and finally Suppress finds the break. Camouflage up once again. Complexity won the first, G1 won the second. And so far, it looks like G1's winning the Slays, but finally get away with this camouflage. Suppress puts it on, but a nade from Cycle takes it out. What do you think about that immediate pop, Clutch? They had the numbers and the position on the map. I don't necessarily think he needed to pop it while one shot.
Yeah, you know, it's just like in that moment, I never hate the decision to burn the camo, especially because you're starting to lose teammates left and right. Complexity did a great job of getting a few kills in that moment that honestly could have had the camo go into their hands, and that's worst case scenario. Removing that win condition from your enemies and just keeping the game neutralized is never the worst case.
Black trying to get his way forward, but just caught in the open field. Gunned down by Suppressed over in utility. And you start to see G1 slowly making their way forward on the map. Kills starting to streak in red. Complexity seeing the respawn screen, and for the first time we're seeing a decent lead for G1, a 4-kill swing, and the rest of Complexity still standing on top of each other.
Yeah, Complexity is really struggling to get some map control here so far in the mid game. Since it was about 25-25, we've seen Gamers First in control of a majority of this map, but they're going to be semi-trapped at blue here, and this is going to be Complexity's first real opportunity at a push onto G1 that's camping into this closet, this utility. Let's see if they can trade efficiently. Unfortunately, it's a 2-2 split right now, and as the third member gets taken down, it's going to be all four going down. As Booba, the last remaining player that stays alive from the combat loop, gives Gamers First once again that 4-kill lead, make it a 5-6-kill lead now with the heat wave.
And approaching these final moments, Booba finally taken down as that power weapon will be up for grabs for Complexity. Tosca's doing his best to keep them off this camouflage. And although G1 went on a huge swing and got all those kills, when it matters the most, Complexity is ready to fight for this camouflage. They need to come away with this if they're going to get back into this game, and they know how valuable it is, but the kills aren't going to come easy. G1 able to find the first pick, and Cycle's looking for the player left behind. Here's the jump up, but it doesn't matter sometimes. Sap puts him on rotation. He says, hey, you're new to the scene. Let me tell you how to get a kill. And he just got one of the biggest ones you'll see this game. Now the game feels like it's getting out of reach for Complexity. Able to find two, but G1, that's a huge momentum swing from Sap.
4-kill game, make it a 5-kill game again. Just 3 needed for Gamers First here. The veterans trying to close it out here in this series. Game 5 is usually where veterans shine, and Suppressed, the youngest gun on the team, maybe not have the strongest game statistically, gonna punch one more towards that 50 mark. And now that you need 2, can you get the job done? And how cautious to Complexity have to play in this moment?
Sap dissecting into the back. A clean wipe will get them to even. But his teammates go down. Sab makes a huge play. I was almost like, did a player lag out? Because Sab went big 1v2, but unfortunately on the other side of the map, his teammates fall. And G1, actually, what am I saying? G1 won the game. Hey, Clutch, let's go. Big double kill from Sab to get. I don't know why I was so mixed up on that one.
I mean, G1, they took the lead about at that 25-kill mark and never really looked back. They were the more aggressive team in the second half of that game. They had the control to play around. A lot of it did come down to that map control, and Complexity maybe had one opportunity where they were down 5 at the 41-36 mark. But the second that they failed to push into the util closet, I think it was a little bit of a bait on the side of G1 to, hey, come and get us. We're giving you a little bit of control, but they had heat wave in hand. The utility is a great place to control that heat wave. And when they were able to trade that out efficiently the way they were, those kills being added towards the 50-kill mark just gave Gamers First every bit of leeway to get the job done there. But Complexity, a hell of a series from them, well fought. And they'll be kicking themselves for some mistakes made, but a lot of lessons to learn here as G1 closes this one out.
Yeah, phenomenal game through and through for G1, able to get it through. And I think everyone has the question on their mind of now what? I think it was like a three-way tie in this pool. Who's getting through where? Did SSG qualify? Well, only one way